It's NBA playoff time, so I guess we're going to have to discuss what's going on in the NBA. A lot has been going on. LeBron James has been ousted by Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves, so that's a good story. Also, we have a story of Houston versus Golden State last night. Houston put it on Golden State, and when I say put it on, I mean put it on they ass. Really, 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 really bad. But that just makes the series 3-2. The New York Knicks are currently in a 3-2 battle with the Detroit Pistons, who are giving them hell. While I did pick the Pistons to win this series, the series has been close for the most part. A lot of, people say a lot of missed calls, not enough calls. Who knows? They're letting them play old school Eastern Conference NBA basketball. So any NBA fan who was brought up during that era is truly enjoying that series. The Pacers, the Indiana Pacers, ousted. Swept. Big sweep. Or did they sweep or was it a gentleman's sweep? I can't remember. All I know is Milwaukee is home and that bum, the Greek freak, self-explanatory. As good as he is, he's a bum in my eyes. So I'll touch on those few things. If I think of anything else along the way, I'll be sure to mention it. We want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers getting dubbed by the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. I wish I could bring up the footage of Ant-Man walking through the tunnel and walking around the streets of LA after he sent Overhead James home for his first sweep. Not first of this year. I had to clean that up a little bit because he's been swept before. A lot of brooms have been brought out on LB James. LB James is arguably the greatest NBA player in history. I will never say it. I'm a Michael Jordan guy. I will give him second. LeBron is second. There's nothing wrong with second. And I only say second because it's Jordan 1A, Kobe Bryant 1B, and then LeBron James. Also, while I'm talking about rankings, Stephen Curry is better than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was not nearly as efficient on the offensive end as Stephen Curry, nor did Stephen Curry have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy. You know how people always try to talk about who somebody had and who didn't have. It's always the story of LeBron James. Didn't have much, but always had top 75 players around him, and also picked his teams and got coaches fired, did whatever he had to do in order to make his situation better. So when we put the blame on LeBron, we shouldn't be surprised when the blame is on LeBron. But unlike previous years, this wasn't on LeBron. This was more so a Luka Doncic who can't stick a piece of tape to a wall in order to save his damn life. Boy ain't sticking nothing. That's why he plays basketball and he is not a robber, because he can't stick nothing up. You hear me? A stick up his ass. Can't even put a stick up his own ass. Yeah, that's how he plays defense, like he has to stick up his own goddamn ass. I never seen somebody lack so much enthusiasm to play defense. Like James Harden, he makes James Harden look like Gary Payton. He makes James Harden look like, now you know that's bad when Luka Doncic makes James Harden look like Gary Payton on the defensive end. Because he's the original Ole. But now with Kawhi's, with Kawhi back, he gives a little bit of an effort. A lot of people say, well, James Harden plays, he has a lot of steals and playing passing lanes ain't shit. Ask Allen Iverson. He will tell you he didn't play no defense. Got in a little alleyway, got in a little lane or something, put them long arms out there, got his hands on the ball, but never really playing defense like, say, Rajah Bell since we're in Philadelphia. But back to the Lakers losing and getting swept by Ant-Man. Shout out to Ant-Man, Mr. I don't want to be the face of the NBA because I'm too busy living my best Sean Kemp's life. Oh, man. If Sean Kemp had a baby, which he has plenty of them, one of them probably is Anthony Edwards. We need to do a what they call that, a DNA test, a Ancestry.com situation to see if Ant-Man is any kin to Sean Kemp. Because listen here, I cannot believe how good that man is. And just like Sean Kemp was the man, and have yet to get over because they're living in the era of Stephen Curry and now Jason Tatum. This is a Jason Tatum's world. Shout out to the light skins, you know. But Luka Doncic, the guy who traded Luka Doncic off is not looking so bad right now. I can't remember his name. It escapes me right now, and I'm doing this on the fly because my life is in shambles. I'm currently unemployed. Halfway, I'm not unemployed. I'm unemployed to the point where it ain't enough money that I'm used to coming into padding these pockets. So I say unemployed, and I'm currently looking for a job. So if anyone is out there hiring or know of anybody hiring, I'm available for work in the PA and Delaware area. I have about a 20, 30 mile radius in my mind of where I will and won't drive. But also, if you aren't currently hiring males, I identify as whatever the hell you want me to identify as. Back to the subject. Luka Doncic not sticking anything. So yeah, the Lakers are your best player can't be a 40-year-old and playing the most defense can't be a 40-year-old man. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out in Los Angeles. And when I say we, I mean them, because I have nothing to do with the organization. I'm not one of those guys who just like die-hard fans. I don't even like the Lakers. I'm a Bulls fan, so that tells you how much I'm invested in the state of any team. And you know, I'm a man, so men only really represent their football team. We don't really care about basketball. It's not a lot of loyalty in basketball. We just like a lot of players because there's so many players that you like different things about. But yeah, we have that. So shout out to the Lakers. They got a lot to do. Oh, they were blaming a lot of the things on JJ Redick. It's JJ's Redick's first year as a head coach. And he also has experienced assistant coaches that are on the bench, obviously. But they're going to put it on JJ Redick because he's the face, obviously. And no, they didn't make many adjustments during the series. But there weren't many adjustments that could be made, if you ask me. Now, they could have put the guy Jackson back in the rotation. I don't know why he sort of fell out of the rotation, especially when you need big guys who can run with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, who had a Wilt Chamberlain-type dominant night against the bum-ass Los Angeles Lakers. But that's enough on the Lakers. In the other game of the night, it was the Golden State Warriors versus who are the Warriors playing? Houston Rockets. Playing the Houston Rockets, and we thought that the Golden State Warriors, with all of their experience and veteran leadership, that they will be able to get the Houston Rockets out of here in a 4-1 gentleman's sweep type game, but Ime Udoka had other things and other plans on his mind, so he did what he had to do, and he coached them up. The Segun guy, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but Seguin, whoever he is, that kid is pretty cool. Body shape weird, long neck, very long neck. Like a long neck on a big body looks very, very weird. And then he's shaped like he got like a Jokic slash, what's the big man who used to play? Oliver Miller. He got an Oliver Miller type shape to him, in shape, not in weight. So he's very dominant. He's very dominant, especially against an undersized Golden State Warriors team who is highly dependent on Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry to bring them home every night. They'll get past it. They'll get through this series. I just don't think that the Houston Rockets are ready or experienced enough to beat them and move on to the next round, unlike the OKC Thunder. You see, I didn't even mention them in the opening credits because the team that they playing as so bad, the Memphis Grizzlies. I forgot they even played. They done went to Cancun and they're gonna come back to play the second round. But I digress. So yeah, the Houston Rockets and Jalen Green came out and put on a show for the ages. I'm not sure if he called Drea back up and was like, "Oh, lady, I need a little bit of peanut butter and jelly." And when I mean peanut butter and jelly, I mean some of that McDonald's that you normally buy me because you can't cook. I don't know if she could cook. She never done a cookbook, never did a cook video, so I would imagine she can't cook or doesn't. But she got kids, so she do got to cook some type of shit. But I digress and bring myself back to the subject. The Houston Rockets are down 3-2 to the Golden State Warriors. And for that, I give them a hand clap. Shout out to Ime Udoka, who managed to lose his job and lose one of the finest women ever. And that there is why we say, or they say, because I don't say it and I don't agree, that it don't matter how bad or how fine. Look, you get on my nerves, I'm going to go have sex with somebody else. Obviously, Neil Long was getting on his nerves. Nobody ever asked Ime his side of the story. They just worried about Neil Long and his son. That boy going to be okay. That boy's going to be okay. Ask LeBron James if he was okay without his daddy around. And that's not even saying that Ime Udoka is not going to be around for his kid, because I'm pretty sure he is. He's African. Africans don't disown their kids. That's one thing they don't do is disown kids. I know that. I spoke to an African. I spoke to an African specifically about this topic. I'm like, do you guys ever leave your kids? He said, no, never leave kids. And he did this little finger thing. I said, are you Kingdom Matumbo? He said, funny man. That's what he said. I just asked him a simple question. So yeah, Houston Rockets. If it goes 7, I'll be surprised, but I just don't. Well, if it goes 7, I mean Houston goes back home, and it's gonna be tough to get a win in Houston. So yeah, but I just don't see. I don't see the Golden State Warriors coming out and putting up a dud in the dub tomorrow night. This is Jay Sutton's NBA playoff report. I'm not done yet. We had to talk about the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. Like I said in the opener, I picked the Detroit Pistons to win this playoff series. I'm looking okay. It's 3-2, and one of those games could have went either way. That one call where they didn't call a foul, Jalen Brunson clearly fouled. Who was taking that shot? I think it was Beasley, maybe. Also, reminder to myself to talk about how Gary Trent Jr. blew the Milwaukee chance of anything. But I'm talking about, what was I talking about? Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks. 3-2. A lot of injuries is catching up with the New York Knicks and the wear and tear on the bodies of their stars, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Cat's been playing pretty good. I think he should be playing better because nobody is like he's a mismatch but Durant is pretty good and very athletic also. So I guess it's a pretty even series. That's why I thought that the Pistons had the better chance of winning, or had a chance of beating the more experienced New York Knicks. That's pretty. That's a good series to watch. It reminds me of the 90s, about 92, 93, 94. Those years where the NBA was very, very big man oriented and like physical. Physical is the word that I'm looking for because it's a lot more physical in those times. So I'm enjoying it. I'm a man who loves defense. I love to watch defense. I love to play defense. Pause. Because I just like to see like somebody who's used to doing whatever they want. I'm used to them. I like to see them not be able to do whatever they want. That's like the highlight of my life, and being able to stop somebody who's used to doing what they want. I like to do that. Pause. Because it's like taking the will of a man. Like, that's just what it is. So I see. I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Knicks were to pull this closing of the series off tonight, which I believe they do play tonight. Yeah, they have to, because who else is going to play? Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. Very entertaining. Cade Cunningham. Shout out to Cade Cunningham. I'm sorry, I can't get out of here without mentioning the other light-skinned guy. Cade Cunningham is on the come up. Reminds me of, I don't know, dare I say it, Grant Hill. When I watch him, he reminds me of Grant Hill. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels that way, but his game, and it's not the Detroit Pistons uniform like you're thinking. You're automatically thinking of Detroit. I'm just thinking about how he's at his own pace, and he's standing tall, but he's low enough to where he's protecting the ball. And him on the pick and roll is very deadly because he can dish it as well as score it, shoot it. He's on the come up. I've been enjoying watching him extensively through this playoff series, and for the world to recognize a real one when they see one shot at the big. So yeah, and I was talking about I wanted to mention the Milwaukee Bucks losing to the Pacers. I believe it was 4-1, gentleman's sweep. But this particular Game 5 was Gary. It's on Gary Trent Jr. He won't be sleeping this entire summer. Of course he'll sleep, just not for the first 3 nights. There'll be nightmares. He had two crucial turnovers, and I believe and the and one. He had 2 crucial turnovers, and he gave the and one up to Halliburton. Oh, I know he is sick, and his dad is like, "Yo, don't call me, son. Don't call me. Don't call me in the morning. Don't call me in the afternoon. Don't call me at night, boy. I ain't teach you that. You ain't junior no more. You know what? Your name is just GT. Call yourself GT, because you rode a bike out of there. You talk about blowing out the candles. For anybody who knows, I call, if you blow something, if you have a wide open layup and you miss, you blew out the candles. If you have a turnover and then on the other end run down and give an and one to tie the game up, you had 2 birthdays in one goddamn year. Is that a leap year? It must be a leap year. It must be a leap year. Yeah, man. So that's been going on. That's my NBA wrap up. Let me see if I want to talk about anything else before I get out of here. I didn't prepare for this, but I want to get back into the habit of talking smack on live. This is my first live of 2025. Let me go on here and see if there is anything on here that I want to talk about. That's not what I'm looking for. That's definitely not. Media. There we go. Let's see if anything. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Oh man, Shannon Sharp. Oldest trick in the book. Let that white girl take you down. Oh hey, you little horny ass. That's one thing about Shannon. Shout out to Shannon. But you can't cause as much ruckus as you cause in the entertainment business and think that it's not going to catch up with you. That little white girl that you met in the gym, this little 21-year-old girl, younger than your daughters, that's ill, kind of nasty. Right now that I don't partake in that, and I don't see myself partaking in that, I can say ill, that's nasty, Shannon. So he was suspended or leave of absence from ESPN for the past week or so because he's in the news for all of the wrong reasons. Sexual assault, voice messages, and threatening messages that seemed a bit chopped and screwed. But that's for the law and the courts and the lawyers and the judge to decide. That's not on me. I have nothing to do with that. I never want to see a black man go down. But if the black man is out here doing things like of that nature with white women, white innocent women, you can't be treating innocent little white women that way. That's why I don't mess with white women. Hello, because you never know. You never know. But baby, white girl, if you tell me that you're not that way, I'll take your word for it and we can give it a try. I just ain't leaving no voice messages. Oh snap. Diddy on the verge of a plea deal. I guess this is breaking news here on the Jay Sutton Show. We have breaking news. Diddy on the verge of a plea deal with the feds expected soon. This is from Media Takeout, so take all of this information with a grain of salt. I don't have time to really go back and look, but I'll read their headlines because I'm sure they got it from somebody else. Sean Diddy Combs may have danced his way through decades of success, but it looks like his legal drama is coming to a serious and very real turning point. The hip-hop mogul is set to go on trial next week on a slew of federal charges. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years. Okay, but get to the part where he said, in exclusive, we learned that courtroom showdown is not likely to ever happen. A source close to Diddy Camp tells us that the music icon and federal prosecutors are in late-stage plea negotiations, and the two sides are reported very closely to sealing a deal. If finalized, the plea agreement would reportedly have Diddy dodging trial altogether and serving around 5 years in federal prison. 5 years in federal prison, that means he's already served about 2 years. That means he'll be home in 3 years. And you mean that the love guy might be back out? Before I put a pin on this, let me go to a more credible source, The Shade Room. It's like, nah. Let me go see, let's see, Diddy Plea Deal. Let's see, we're gonna just do this on the spot. We're live on the Jay Sutton Show. Swinger while turning down plea deal. Diddy claims of this diminished mental capacity. That's not what I'm looking for. Plea deal. Let me see. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a word. Diddy's plea deal. Diddy plea deal. Let's see. Diddy claims he is a swinger, and as he rejects plea deal. Diddy said he's a swinger. Well, of course Diddy's a swinger. Of course he's been swinging. Why wouldn't he be swinging? They say he rejected, 5 days ago, Diddy turned down plea deal in federal sex crime. Diddy turned down plea deal in sex crime. I didn't know that he turned down a plea deal, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much I can believe this. So I don't know. I don't know. I didn't do any homework. I just happened to just press record because I wanted to get on here and talk some stuff. Let's go back. Okay, so I don't know. Take that Diddy news with a grain of salt, if you may. Let's go back. I'm going to just go through a quick few things, and I'll get out of here. I'll get out of your way. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar and SZA. They say this is the highest grossing tour, and it's always the highest grossing tour. Every new tour is the highest grossing tour. But anything that's Kendrick Lamar related, I'm always with it. Go see Sinners. Seen Sinners. I went and seen Sinners because I heard such good things about it, and I went by myself. That's how good Sinners is. Yes, I was sitting in between two couples. Felt like a fifth wheel, but I didn't know the two couples. So, and actually, it looks like I was cock blocking because I could have been in the middle of a swingers situation, but all they had to do was ask me to move over. I would have just asked that to females because I was sitting in between two females. And if I was a little freaky boy and wanted to get a little freaky in the movie theater, I could have finger popped two women at the same time who wasn't my girls. But I didn't know if their husband's hands were in their crotch at the same time because a lot of people go to the movies and they do things like that. Portia's husband Simon still locked up on ICE detention. Damn, Portia's husband, I don't care. I don't care about that. Suge Knight settles 2015 wrongful death case, $1.5 million, avoids pretrial. Well, that's a win. I guess that's a win. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have, man. Jaguar Wright reacts to Brian McKnight defamation lawsuit. He can't sell records. Brian McKnight is an interesting guy. He's an interesting guy. because Brian McKnight left his original family, disowned each and every last one of them, started a new family. So he has two families, but he only sees one family. And if you're doing the math, yes, he has two families with kids that are older that he no longer, I believe he has a junior. Tough being a Brian McKnight Jr. and seniors not talking to you. I thought of a dumbass joke the other day. I'll leave you guys with this. I said, what's the difference between a trailer park home and the projects? Parking space. I'm Jay Sutton. I hope to see you very, very soon. This has been a live introduction back into the YouTube world. I'll see you soon with better production, but I just had to get this out. I hope you enjoy this video. Peace.